All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, man. Thanks for joining me over on this side. I know it's a little bit of confusing. Here. YouTube politics made me bump the video back over to the CGA Got Game channel. CGA Sports back in here with the NFL, the National Football League Week 5 in review. I hope your team did good this weekend, and we're going to give you our what are we going to give you? We're going to give you our trending teams, the teams that are trending down, the teams that are absolutely done. We got more teams that are absolutely done by week 5. We're going to reveal that list. We're going to tell you about the teams that have not changed, and also the teams that are kind of trending up and the top teams in the NFL. And I hope you guys had a good weekend. Shout out to you. There were some ugly games, lots of ugly games on the schedule, and we're going to go over the week 5 results. Without further ado, let's start with perhaps the worst team in the NFL. I know you might think that there are many worse teams in the NFL, but we got to start with this game, and that's going to be the New York Jets versus the Denver Broncos. Both of these teams are absolutely atrocious. They're not good at all, and they both competed against each other. And as you can see right here, the New York Jets dominate. Yes, absolutely dominate the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos are in trouble. I don't know what's going on with your boy Russell Wilson, but the Wilson that got the better of the deal was Zach Wilson, and it wasn't by that much. It wasn't pretty. Russell Wilson could not even get this team on the no leadership, and doesn't help that your boy Marshawn Lynch is trashing him all over the internet. The Denver Broncos are a disgrace, and they have to be considered one of the worst teams in the NFL. They let the Jets run all over them at home. Absolutely no pride. And you love to see it with Russell Wilson because a lot of people defend Russell Wilson like he's a baby. He's an interesting character, man. That guy, there's something about his characteristics makes him socially awkward. He's a weirdo. Listen, he's a weirdo. And I actually called Denver on this one, so I was absolutely wrong. And I think even Sierra treats him with kid gloves. You know, you can see the way people treat him. Pete Carroll treated him in a different way. Sierra treats him like, oh, even the Denver coach now, the former New Orleans Saints coach, Sean Payton, even he doesn't know how to deal with him. He criticized them in a joking manner about kissing babies and being a politician. Some of his teammates called him awkward in their dealings. Apparently, he has an office near the head coaching office. I mean, this guy. Yeah, he's too busy trying to position himself to run for president. And we're going to need some background records on your medical situation there. He's just a socially awkward individual. And this is not lending well to him and his teammates. I don't know how he survived in Seattle, but you can see, man, this guy is not it. I think Denver needs to move away from him ASAP because he's not working. And I don't want to hear about the statistics. He's putting up numbers. He's just nickel and diming his way to about 200 to 300 yards per game. But he has no rapport with his teammates. He has no leadership. They don't have confidence in him. They don't play hard for them. They don't want to run through a brick wall. The Denver Broncos are donezo. And I don't think they'll ever recover this season. So ring the bell on the Denver Broncos. Shout out to the Denver Broncos fans. Yeah, he's trying to be the general manager of the team. He's not even trying to be the quarterback. Broncos are done. And this is the second year in a row that they're just embarrassing themselves out there. They're not going to recover from this. And their fans deserve better. They have a good, loyal fan base. They deserve better than this. But they sold their souls for Russell Wilson, thinking that was going to be their franchise quarterback. Yeah, Marshawn Lynch was trashing him. Okay. What about the New York Jets? The Jets, hey, you beat the Broncos. Listen, we beat the Broncos. That's our only win, and I'm glad you were able to do it. Hackett, the coach, that was the head coach of Denver last year that got trashed by Sean Payton. Good redemption plan game for him, and his team looked like great. I mean, Zach Wilson looked great in the second half. So it was a redemption game. But Denver is done. And by the way, the New York Jets are done. You're not out of this. Let's go ahead and reveal the teams that are done. And it should say teams done by week 4, but this should say week 5. Let's go ahead and reveal the list. Even though some of these teams got to win, don't think that you ain't out of the woodworks. More teams added to the list. We're going to go with the Chicago Bears, even though they did win. It was more like Washington lost than the Bears won. Washington was well within a field goal from cutting this lead down from 10-7 with 5 minutes left, and the field goal kicker missed the field goal. They dropped several end zone passes. So Washington lost that game, but the Chicago Bears are done. Arizona Cardinals, donezo. Forget about it. The season is over. The Carolina Panthers, they're atrocious. We'll go over them in a minute. The Denver Broncos, it's a wrap for them. Season's over. Season's over. And the New York Jets, it's season's over, obviously. Obviously for them, and this should be their highlight win of the year. I don't know. The New York Giants, absolutely. They've been over for a couple of weeks now since the injury to Saquon Barkley. It's a donezo. If the Raiders lose tonight, it's over. Ring the bell on the Raiders. Raiders must win to keep any hope of being alive because the Patriots come in the following Sunday, and the Patriots are down bad. They're on the list. The New England Patriots gets embarrassed. Shut out at home by Derek Carr and the Saints. Derek Carr's never beat the Patriots this bad. All right, so Las Vegas Raiders done. New England Patriots done. The Minnesota Vikings don't have any soul left. It's done, and we don't know if Jefferson is going to be even back and when he's going to be back. I think he has a little bit of an injury. Washington Redskins, done. You cannot lose to the Chicago Bears and then come back with any pride. Done. Houston Texans almost got 3 wins in a row, but like I said, I called it. No way. They lost. The Tennessee Titans haven't put up a fight in any game. It's embarrassing, and I got Washington there twice. So these are the teams that are pretty much done. You can ring the bell. Vegas in parentheses, just in case they lose tonight, it's officially over. It's officially over. Your team is going to implode. So you got to beat the Packers at home tonight, and we don't play good at home or on the road. So we don't know what's going to happen there. Let's go to some games, and let's check some super chats. Appreciate a super chat. Stony Montana says, my gummy bears back in the mix. He says, now the city is talking playoffs from 0-17 to playoffs. You're not back in the mix. We're going to have to look at what the Bears have next. In fact, the Bears, what's their next game? Do they have a bye? I think they have a bye next week. Nope, they play the Vikings. So that should be interesting. The Bears could crawl back in, but no, they're done. They're done. So the Bears, he called them the gummy bears. Definitely. I don't know. Them Bears fans are a little bit unrealistic. They can be. They can be. All right, let's go to the next games on the list here. We're going to go over here and check out what's happening next. Games of note. The Jaguars. The London Jaguars. I didn't call this game either. I'm 0-2 so far. Buffalo Bills stumbling out of the gates. Jacksonville dominated this game early. And often the Bills did mount a little bit of a comeback, but not enough time. The Bills were out of this game. They were sleepwalking. They were enjoying their biscuits and tea. They never really competed in this game. Although the score looks like it indicates it, this score was pretty much out of range for most of the game, and Buffalo was playing lethargically. So they did mount a little bit of a comeback, but it was not enough. Jacksonville squeaks out. Buffalo's complaining of jet lag. Jacksonville spent 2 weeks there by playing 2 weeks in a row. That was good of the NFL to not make them make 2 separate trips. But the jet lags got to the Buffalo Bills. And, of course, this is an experiment. The London Jacksonville Jags might even be playing there, maybe split the year going forward here. 4 games in Jacksonville, 4 games in London. Because Jacksonville's played the most games, I think, of any team in London. So, and they're going to be displaced looking for a home pretty soon. They want a new stadium in Jacksonville. I don't think they're going to get it. So is that going to propel them to move to London? Interesting. Should make some interesting there. But it's sad to see Buffalo go out like this because after beating Miami, they look like the class of the AFC East. But you can't go out sleepwalking against the Jags or any team in the NFL and think you're going to get away with it. So it's sad to see that the Buffalo Bills did that. Next team right here, the New Orleans Saints. Derek Carr is back. Embarrassing the hell. I mean, he didn't play very well, but he gets a dub. 34-0. You got to look at what's happening with New England. It is a wrap for Bill Belichick. Yikes. It's weird to see the New England Patriots being shut out at home. I'm sure the Boo Birds were out. What was I doing during this game? I was doing something. Okay, but I saw that this is happening, and I actually called the Saints winning here. I didn't think Derek Carr was going to play, but it doesn't look like he had to do very much. But the Patriots are wrapped, and Bill Belichick might have to consider stepping down. And if he has a chance to get in the record, he might have to coach another team. He might coach the London Jags. And they're benching Mac Jones. But the problem is they're still saying he's the top quarterback over there. I have to look at who's the backup quarterbacks for the New England Patriots, backup QBs. Because if Mac Jones is I know who they have. Let me see here. Let me see who they got. Backup QBs for the Patriots. Oh, sheesh. Bailey Zappi, and Malik Cunningham. Is that right? And Matt Corral. Sheesh. Oh, no. All right. I don't even know who these guys are, but I have to say this.
Oh, the humanity.
Woo. So is Matt Corral the third? I've heard of him before. I heard of Matt Corral. Is Colt McCoy still backing up? Colt McCoy? Ay. Cunningham supposed to be good. Malik, where did he come from? That sounds familiar. Who's Malik Cunningham? Patriots are in trouble. Malik Cunningham. Let's see where he comes from. If I know him. All right, he played at what college did he play for? Louisville? Played at Louisville. Damn, Patriots done. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be recovering for them. So the Patriots are done for the season, and there's no coming back for them. They might just want to develop a quarterback for the future going into that. All right, next game right here, the Indianapolis Colts in the Nobody Cares Bowl. Nobody Cares Bowl. Indianapolis, I did call this. I think Tennessee is on their way down. They're on their way down and out. I don't think they have much fight left. They do have a problem at quarterback, and they may be looking at tankety-tank that season. They're looking at tankety-tank that season, man, because they got to get in a better position to get a quarterback. The quarterbacks, the sad part is they just drafted a quarterback, and they drafted a quarterback the previous year, if I'm not mistaken, or 2 years ago. And I don't think those quarterbacks are going to be ready. Maybe Will Levis will be ready. If they would have, if they're ready, if they got a quarterback ready, they would actually went for it with him. Let me see if they got in. All right, Tannehill, not bad. All right, but he got outplayed. Derrick Henry, he don't have miles on these legs left. He says no running game. For who? The Colts or the Titans? Or is that the, I'm not sure who you're talking about. To go to Costco Bowl. Yeah, nobody cared about this game very much. And Anthony Richardson is not back. So that says a lot. And they still won this game, and it sounds like an ugly game. It looked like the score was kind of not even back and forth. The Titans don't have a running game. Yeah, I mean, just no more, Derrick Henry. How many more how many more miles he got on those legs? They got a nice team, a fantasy team. Actually, if this team existed in the year 2020 or 2019, they'd be good. This looks like a good team in 2019. Okay. All right, so, but nobody cares about these teams, so it is what it is. All right, let me see if I got one more game to report on, and then we'll get it going to your teams to watch. The Baltimore Ravens, Super Bowl contender, Baltimore Ravens. I don't know. I told you this team was fool's gold, and Lamar Jackson will not win a Super Bowl. It's clear that the cream of the crop is not the Baltimore Ravens. I don't even know if they can get back to full health, if there will be a contender. And if they do, it's not going to be enough time. I watched a little bit of the second half of this game, and let me tell you, this was brutal to watch. Look at this score. Look at the quarter by quarter. Baltimore could not move the ball. They couldn't block. Lamar Jackson could not pass in the pocket. All right, he is not a pocket passer. And did he lead in rushing too? No. He's not a pocket passer, and he can't make adjustments when he tries to stay in the pocket. It's too long. He got sacked. And TJ Watt was on his neck the entire time. And it was just absolutely, this is an ugly game. In fact, the Pittsburgh Steelers are terrible. The Pittsburgh Steelers are god awful. I watched them 2 games. They are trash. And for them to have won this game, You would think they did something. They did absolutely nothing. Baltimore lost this game. Pittsburgh cannot move the ball either. The only reason they won is because the Ravens, I believe they went for, did they go for a 4th and 1? I think they went for it once, and then they got 4th down again and ended up punting to the Steelers. And then they gave up a 50-yard bomb with no explanation. I don't know how he got behind them. No explanation as to why they went 1-on-1, cover 0, and got beat on a long bomb. I mean, I think they went just terrible. The coaching is shitty on both sides. The Steelers are hot garbage, and they come out of here with a win. They did not deserve to win this game. So I don't know which one of these teams are worse. They're both bad at this point. For the Ravens to lose this, that's going to lose a division game like that. They stole that game. They stole that game. Can the Ravens win that division? Yeah, the division is kind of bad. Yeah, for sure. They'll make the playoffs. Who, the Ravens, or are you talking about the Steelers? Steelers going to wait? I don't know. Steelers are terrible. Who's going to make the AFC Championship? Steelers? There's no way. Ravens could make the AFC Championship. I don't think the Steelers can. Yeah, that division is anybody's division, even with the Bengals coming back. Last one we'll do. The Cowardly Lions gets a W. Are they for real? The Cowardly Lions, man, they had a lot of people saying that this team is for real. 4-1. All right, they beat up on a whole bunch of nobodies. Of course, they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, we'll give it to you. We'll give it to you. But the Cowardly Lions come out with a win here, and it was an impressive win, dominating the entire game. Carolina has nothing. Carolina has nothing. They're on the way out. Bryce Young plays 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I guess Andy Dalton's back on the bench. Bryce Young don't have anybody running the ball. Good Lord, have mercy. 41 pass attempts. Oh, boy. You know, something must be said about these little quarterbacks. These little quarterbacks. You know, I'm a little guy, so I hope little guys can play quarterback. But something's got to be said about these little guys. It's just not enough. It's not enough for you to, you know, you got to see over the line. You got to scramble out of the pocket. You know, you could be elusive, but are you going to win with a little guy? You know, a Kyler Murray, a Russell Wilson. These are all little guys. It's going to be interesting. But yeah, I think the Carolina Panthers are done. Tua is doing well. So it's just interesting. You got to get some Drew Brees, some Doug Flutie-ass quarterbacks. But a lot of those guys, Doug Flutie and Drew Brees, he won a Super Bowl. Doug Flutie was never really, he didn't have the success that Drew Brees did. But interesting. Okay. The Panthers. All right, trending down teams that are trending down and almost on the way out. Teams that are trending down. Remember, we gave you the teams that are donezo. These teams are almost on the way out. And I know the Dallas Cowboys have to make a list here. Dallas looked absolutely atrocious in this game. In fact, this was an easy money bet. If you had any money, San Francisco was favored by 3. Ninja, it was by the first quarter, it was 7-0, 14-0. Oh, it was over. You made your money back by halftime. I think only halftime it was 21-7, but it was very, let me see if I can pull up it. I'll pull up the score later. All right, but yeah, this was over from the start. It was over at the kickoff. What's his name? Quarterback from the Cowboys, Dak Prescott. I think he threw 4 interceptions or at least 3. The Cowboys are who we thought they were. They're no good. They beat up on some teams earlier. They cannot compete with the upper echelon in the NFC. And if they take another pitiful loss like this, it's going to be curtains for the Cowboys. Let's see who they have next. They have the San Diego Superchargers next on Monday night. Another pressure game for them, so they'll get a lot of rest here. But they're in Los Angeles, so it should be interesting. The Jacksonville Jags, I have them trending down. They played 2 London games, had a little bit of an advantage, but I don't see them going anywhere. But we'll check the division. Los Angeles Rams pick up another loss, but it's a hard-fought loss. They haven't gotten blown out yet. I don't think they've gotten blown out, but their schedule is lethal. Los Angeles Rams, they're on the trending down, almost out. Pittsburgh Steelers, again, they won, but they shouldn't have had no business winning. They cannot move the ball. Their playbook, their coaching, people want to fire their offensive coordinator. And then I got the Green Bay Packers potentially trending down if they lose to the Raiders. They lose to the Raiders, you got Packers going to be trending almost out at that point. If they beat the Raiders, then they can go into the next category. All right, but let's see what they got next. Packers after the Raiders. Let's see here. I think they have a bye. Yeah, Packers. Packers need a win here. They could go into their bye, come back out, and they have the Broncos. Man, I'm going to tell you, Packers can save their season with a win tonight. Packers can save their season with a win because they go with a bye, and then they got Denver coming out of that bye. And then they'll be in a bind. Somebody will be in a bind. Checking out the Packers schedule. And the Vikings. Oh, man, Packers could really turn their season around tonight. You can turn that season around. Okay, those are the teams that are trending down, almost on the way out. Let's get back to the NFL scores, reviewing. Who's next? Oh, the STI Bowl. Atlanta versus Houston. The STI Bowl right here. Super Gonorrhea Bowl. All right. The Reading Rainbow Bowl. The Ninja Bowl. The Toilet Bowl. The Ghetto Bowl. Or the Ghetto Bowl. All right, what do we got here? We have the Atlanta Falcons and the Houston Texans here. The Ghetto Bowl. The Country Ass Bowl. All right, what are we doing here? All right, here we go. The SDI Bowl. All right, we got the SDI Falcons versus the SDI Texans. The Straggle and Sniggle Bowl. The Straggle Bowl. The Wig Bowl. The Bonnet Bowl. All right, what are we doing here? Stop. The Pookie Bowl. All right, we got a lot of here. We got Atlanta. I called this. I predicted this. The ABT, the Wick Bowl. All right, we got Atlanta sneaking out a win. Both of these teams are unimpressive. All right, quarterback play for Atlanta. They're hinging their bets on their quarterback to be able to play well. I know people are liking C.J. Stroud. People do like Desmond Ridder for the Atlanta Falcons. C.J. Stroud didn't play that bad. Got a lot of yards. But this game is really about the offense is not able to move the ball. And very ugly. This is a mediocre bowl. The Bang Yang Bowl. Yeah, this is a mediocre game right here. Both of these teams are bad. Just the Falcons are padding their record with a weak schedule. So we'll give the STI Dirty Birds. We'll give them a win. I don't know how many more they got coming. Let me see what the Birds got. See what the Dirty Birds got next. Or do they have a bye? They have a bye as well. All right, so a lot of teams have a bye. Okay. See what the Falcons got after the bye. I don't see their name on the list. Did they? Oh, the Buccaneers. Okay, all right. The Dolphins, man, again, the Giants are absolute trash. They were running all over them. What did Daniel Jones do? 119 yards, running back 25 yards, 12 carries. Tua looking unstoppable. The Dolphins are legit. They did take that lump up in Buffalo. I predicted they would. But let's just be honest. Who have they played? Let's just take a little bit of time to look at the Dolphins' wins here. Okay, let's see what we got here. Because is it too early? The Dolphins ain't played nobody. Holy. All right, so here's the Dolphins' wins. They played the San Diego Superchargers. And then they beat the Patriots, who stink. The Broncos, who stink. They lost to the Bills and beat the Giants. Now, we have to start thinking. And they have the Panthers coming up, who they're 0-5. Then they got Eagles. Their schedule is soft. They got a soft schedule. All right, we have to pay attention to this schedule. They really haven't beat anybody yet. They haven't beat anybody. Yeah, the Chargers. It's still early. They're looking. At least they're handling. At least they're handling their business. So we do got to give them that, and they do look impressive. They're right where they should be. So let's give them a little bit of credit. And then next one, and then we'll reveal our top teams and the teams that are unchanged. The next game is the Bengals. I thought the Bengals would win as long as Joe Burrow was in the game, and he was. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 317 yards. And the Cardinals are who we thought they were. Kyler Murray. I'm sorry. Kyler Murray's he's not playing. Okay. Yeah. It's a wrap for Kyler. It's a wrap for Kyler Murray. It's a donezo. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Joshua Dobbs comes in. I haven't seen any. I thought I saw a couple of highlights of this game. And Joe Burrow looks like Joe Burrow. And that's good for them because I think Cincinnati's a good team. They shouldn't be 2-3. And as Jamar Chase says, he's always open. And he proved it. Bengals come back. Hopefully Joe Burrow's healthy because this is a dangerous team. If Baltimore and Pittsburgh doesn't want it, Cincinnati will take it. All right. Yeah, career's over for Kyler. I don't know if the career's over. He's got to get his mentality right. He'll still be a good backup. I don't know if he wants to be a backup. Maybe he'll go play baseball. All right, so we got the teams that are unchanged and trending up. Obviously, the unchanged, trending up teams, the teams that have buys, we're going to keep them unchanged. That's going to be the Chargers, the Buccaneers, Seahawks, and the Cleveland Browns. But the unchanged teams, even if you got to win here, I'm not impressed. The Indianapolis Colts beating the Tennessee Titans. New Orleans Saints, unchanged. New Orleans Saints got a big win. I'm not really impressed. You beat the hell out of the Patriots. We'll keep you there in the unchanged. You could be a playoff team. The Detroit Lions, you haven't made the elite yet. I want to see a little bit more. Detroit Lions, you're trending up. You bounce back. And you got a weak division. Cincinnati Bengals trending up. Good job for the Bengals. Buffalo Bills trending up. Come back from the loss. The Atlanta Falcons. All right, we'll give you a shot. He'll run to MLB. Yeah, did he get drafted, by the way? He got drafted by the Phillies? Hold on for a second. Let me see something here. Kyler Murray. Did Kyler Murray get drafted? MLB. Because he'll go to MLB. Oh, the Oakland A's. The Las Vegas A's drafted him, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he got drafted by the Las Vegas A's. Oh, boy. I think if he gets sat down, he'll just go play baseball. Yeah. He got drafted by the A's. So that makes it interesting. And he'll just go play baseball. And I think he'll do good. He'll do well. He'll take his money. He'll take his guaranteed money and go to the baseball. I don't think he'll play backup. Or maybe they'll trade him around. He's the A's best player right now. Sad. Yeah, the A's are an absolute dumpster fire. I don't even know, man. Las Vegas excited to get that team. It's a tragic team. So these are our teams here. Where's the Los Angeles Chargers at? They should be. Oh, I have them on the list. They're unchanged because they had a bye. Okay, so who do they got? Who do the Chargers have next? The Cowboys? They have the Cowboys next. That'll be a good game for the Chargers. All right, shout out to them. And then let's give you the top 4 teams and all of that stuff. The Miami Dolphins, the San Francisco 49ers, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Kansas City Chiefs. These are the elite teams. None of the teams in the unchanged can compete with these 4 teams. And we'll talk about Kansas City in their game. They didn't look impressive. I think they just don't have what they used to have. But they're still winning games. They're still going to win games. In fact, Kansas City has next. They have an interesting game next. Oh, they have the Broncos on Thursday night. So they'll have short rest, and they must have a bye coming in the next week. Yeah, they must have a bye. Because I think, isn't that how it works? Thursday night football, then bye? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's wrong. No, that can't be right because they have 4 teams on a bye. Oh, no. The Chiefs have the Chargers. All right, so Chiefs. Chiefs have, what, am I tripping? I'm looking at the wrong thing. Oh, Chief Broncos, Chief Chargers. Okay, so we getting some AFC West battles. So those are the top 4 teams. Anybody else? All right. The Chiefs have the referees. Out of these 2 teams, I still predict Kansas City and 49ers. I don't think anybody's going to beat 49ers, man. I mean, they'll get a loss here and there, and maybe at the end of the season. I think the class 2 teams that, Miami's dangerous, but they haven't beat anybody. Kansas City is solid. Philadelphia is good. But San Francisco is better. San Francisco's better than the Eagles. But it'll be a hard-fought game. Dolphins to the Super Bowl? Not yet. Not yet. I'm not putting Dolphins in yet. I got Kansas City. But Dolphins in, we got to play them some. We got to play some teams here. I think Kansas City, San Francisco, but Miami, yeah. Philadelphia is an odd one. And then Philadelphia, man, I want to see them challenge. Who have they played? Let me see who the Eagles have beaten. Let's talk about their little record there. Philadelphia's beaten nobody. No, they beat the Rams, the Commanders, the Buccaneers, the Vikings, and the Patriots. That's not elite. That's not an elite. And they barely beat all these teams. All these games were close. All these games were a possession game. All these games, except for the Bucs, were possession away. Okay, they beat the Eagles. They beat the Rams by 9. All right. Commanders by 3. Vikings by 6. And the Patriots by 5. And they got a tough schedule in November. They got easy ones here. Oh, boy. Ooh. Philadelphia is about to get put back to reality. They play the Jets, Dolphins, Washington, Dallas, Chiefs, Bills, 49ers, Dallas, Seattle. Sheesh. They'd be lucky to go 500. Philadelphia will be lucky to go 500 with that schedule. Yeah, there's about 3 or 4 losses right there. They got 4 L's coming. That's a terrible schedule. See, these NFL teams have hard schedules up front, and then middle schedule is good. Philadelphia has the opposite. They have an easy schedule, and then their middle schedule is brutal. Like, you're going to have beat up, injuries, and all of this stuff. If they win 6, they're good. Yeah, they could win 6. But Chiefs, Bills, 49ers. Let me show you the schedule, man. This is the heart of their schedule. Dude, they're about to get beat up right here in November. Late October, November. They got Chiefs on November 20th. 6 days later, the Bills. And then a week later, the 49ers. And then Dallas in between all of that. Nah. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 6 games. You think they can get all 6 of these? And then the Seahawks right here. Then wait. Yeah, Seahawks are. Oh, right after Dallas. Seahawks in Seattle. That's bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a horrible. You think they could get all 6 of these? There's no way. I think best case scenario, they get a split. They go 3-3. They go 3-3. That's the. No, that ain't. Yeah, no, that's the best case scenario. I don't think they go 4-2 here. I don't think they go 4-2. 3-3 is their best case scenario. Their worst is they go 2-4, 1-5, 0-6. Oh. And if they come after this, man, they're gonna need like 3 weeks to get injured, to get healthy here. Best case scenario, 3-3. So that they'll still be a playoff team for sure. Eagles, man. Oh man. He says we got a chance with Dallas. Yeah, I mean, You can't put it your all into Dallas the first game. I don't know, man. Eagles are in trouble. All right, let's go to the rest of the games on our schedule, and then we'll have to be at the 45-minute mark. That'll about do it. We got, did I get the Jets and Broncos? I did. We got the Chiefs and the Vikings. Did I see a little bit of this game? I don't even think I did. But the Chiefs beat the Vikings. I think I saw a little bit of it. Kirk Cousins, again, I think had a bad possession at the end. I think he got sacked. Yeah, that's what I did see a little bit of this game. So they got set up. They got lucky. They got to the 50-yard line and had a chance to throw it into the end zone. But I think Kirk Cousins got sacked on the last play. So that ended that. And Minnesota, I think they did something stupid down at the end. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think they did something dumb. And it might have cost them. I can't remember, though. Did Jefferson not get one catch? He didn't get one touch? Yeah, it's a wrap for Minnesota. The coach challenged the catch. Oh, the wasted timeout. Yes, I think they did. Let me see if I can remember. They wasted a timeout. Let me see if I can give me the scenario. They wasted a timeout. I can't remember, but I think the coach did dump something dumb. Okay. The catch was out of bounds. Okay. Yeah, I did see that. So I did that. But anyway, wasted a timeout. Black clock management. Minnesota is not a good team right there. So anyway, it's not coming to the memory's not coming to my head. But I did see them try to do the Hail Mary at the end and got stuff. Then the last game, they threw the challenge flag. All right. And then Jefferson's injured, no touch. He's out. He's done. I think they think he's going to be out a couple of games. Last game right here. Woo. Woo-wee. San Francisco's the class of the league. I think they're the best team right now. They just got way too much. And now Brock Purdy is exactly what Derek Carr should be. Don't do enough. Don't do too much. Don't do too little. Hand the ball off to CMC. Distribute it to your tight end, Kittle. Get it to a couple of receivers. Oh, and the defense made some plays here, obviously, because I think 3 interceptions by Dak, which 2 of them were deflect interceptions. One of them was a legit interception where he threw it right to the linebacker. The other one, I believe, were tip interceptions. Sometimes you got to give it to the receiver or the defensive back for making a play. And Dak Prescott looked demoralized, embarrassed. And he should have been. He gave them prime field position on 2 or 3 straight possessions when I was watching the game. And the 49ers were at the 35-yard line, their own 35-yard line, about 2 or 3 times in a row. I mean, I think there was a fumble. Was there a fumble in there too? I think there was a fumble in there. It's crazy, man. Anyway, 49ers are class. Cowboys is ass. And that's where we're at right there with the NFL. Preview of today's game, just in case you're wondering. The Raiders and the Green Bay Packers. Packer fans are already in Vegas. They're here, so they're going to be rolling deep. And the Las Vegas Raiders, both of these teams need a win. Packers can change their entire season by winning today because they got a nice favorable schedule going into the next couple of games. The Raiders need to do something. They got the Patriots coming in. And then I think there's a bye and potentially the New York teams. The Jets and the Giants coming in, which could be some relief. And let me check if that's correct, because the Raiders could use a dub. They could definitely use a dub right here. Could they get a dub? They're going to have to play great. Garoppolo's back. He's going to start today. So Aiden O'Connell's back to the bench. And, they're going to have to get everything clicking on all cylinders. If the Raiders get this win, they can get the Patriots at home. Then I believe they got a bye. No. I might be wrong. Then the New York teams come in and something like that, which those 2 teams are bad as well. Somebody said the Jets ain't losing to the Raiders. Okay. All right. Is Jimmy G healthy? Probably not. All right. So Jimmy G's probably not healthy. And Devontae is playing against the Packers. Is there something to prove against the Packers for Devontae? Could be. He's playing his former team. This game is a toss-up. I think. Let me look at the betting line for Raiders. I think the Raiders at one point were favored by 3. See what they're at here. They're talking about over under 40. I don't think, what the fuck? All right, Las Vegas favored by 2. All right, Las Vegas favored by 2. They trying to get some easy money. They trying to get some suckers out here. They think you got some suckers out here. And then they're talking about over under what? 40 something point. What? Way under. That's an easy one. Raiders don't score a lot of points. All right. They might score 17 points. All right. So that means Packers got a little pad in there to get they 30. All right, 30. I'm taking the under. I'm definitely taking the under on that one if I do bet. 45 points for the Raiders. Give me a break. Give me a break. I don't think the Raiders have scored over 20 points this year. Let me check. I might be wrong. See what the Raiders' highest score here. I think we give up the most points and we might score the least. Yeah, we got 13. Hold on for a second. We got 17 against Denver, 10 against Buffalo, 18 against Steelers, 17 against Chargers. I mean, there you go right there. But if the Raiders do win, it's going to be by 3. So, the bookies make the call. But I got under 45. What are the Packers? Are they able to score it anyway? So we got our top 4 teams. We got our bottom team. Sorry for your team. If Packers lose, season's over. If the Raiders win, they got a chance. And if they lose, they might be the worst team in the NFL. Nah, I think the Bears and the Cardinals and the Panthers and the Broncos have something to say about that. We'll see. Raiders lose, it's going to be curtains. All right, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Enjoy your games. And we'll be back next week after YouTube stops tripping and let me get a little bit. And let me see if there are super chats. I think there was only one. All right. Shout out to y'all. Peace.